Hello and welcome to Here's a Thoughts, a podcast made for teens by teens. I'm Ash.
Oh.
Sorry.
Everything mentioned in this podcast has been reported to the proper authorities.
And a trigger warning. In this podcast episode, we'll be talking about abuse, physical and sexual. So I hope that if you feel like you can be triggered by this or distressed, please, you don't need to keep watching. And it may be upsetting for some viewers. So you can just stop the video. However, if you'd like to continue and you feel happy, safe and comfortable, then please do.
Yeah. Sorry, I abruptly introduced myself in the middle of tea talking. I am Ash.
I'm Tia.
I'm Charlotte.
And I am Ace.
So, like mentioned before, we are going to be discussing topics of physical and sexual abuse. In our previous episode, we touched on mental and emotional. Now we're going to the more, I say it's a bit more touched than the last side. It's a lot more well-known, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Visible.
Visible, yeah. I just want to go on the outright, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Can we...
That is very, very, like...
It's very
controversial.
controversial.
It is controversial,
But it's
though.
a very obvious case
Yes.
of physical abuse within Hollywood. Because a lot of people saying that women can't abuse, but we saw the photos of Johnny Depp. And Johnny Depp in an interview and said
Well,
he
you've
was
seen him
scared.
in the, you've
He
seen
said
him
he
in...
was scared.
Yeah. He wrote help on his hands. He lost the top of his
finger.
He's got...
Because they went to court recently.
Yeah.
They went to court quite recently, and we haven't had the verdict, but it's probably the most obvious sign within Hollywood of physical abuse. Because Johnny Depp, I love him. He's such a sweet man. Like, literally, most of my family have like gone to a lot of the premieres of like Pirates of the Caribbean, and they've met him, and they've said he's got such a wonderful personality.
Yeah.
And he's been one of my favourite actors since I was a toddler. And like all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, all of that. And then to see that, because we don't even know how long it was going on behind the scenes.
No, that's the
It was
thing
only in the
about
last like 2-3 years that it was publicised in the media. And it was horrible to see, because I didn't even know who Amber Heard was. I know that she was an Aquaman. That's about it.
Yeah, but what's even more horrible to see is that he lost like 50 million in work from Pirates of the Caribbean.
He got dropped from the most recent movie
Fantastic
because of the abuse claims from Amber Heard, which weren't true.
Which aren't true. And then she's been re-signed for Aquaman at 10 million.
Apparently no one's going to see it, though, because she's in it.
Yeah, everyone's going to boycott it. And I think they're all on about boycotting the Fantastic Beasts because they disagree with him being fired without
Because he played
proof.
Grindelwald, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved him. Oh, my God. Me and my mate were going to go see it.
Is he in this new one?
Yes,
No.
he is.
Oh,
No,
sweet.
is he not? Is
He's
he?
not?
No, okay,
No,
so
it's not.
I saw it yesterday. Sorry, I didn't realise. Yeah. Anyway, he doesn't play the new Grindelwald. There's a different
There's a different person, isn't
He
there?
played
it.
Hannibal in the TV series. I don't know his name. But he's a brilliant actor. He makes brilliant
But he's not Johnny Depp.
But it's not Johnny
It's
Depp.
not Johnny
and it
Depp.
He's
was
not
so
our
wrong.
Grindelwald.
No.
It's so
Yeah,
wrong.
it's heartbreaking to see what she's done to him. She's ruined him in the past 3-4 years.
And that actually comes back to we mentioned about victim blaming.
Yes, we did in the previous episode.
Yeah.
She was making claims that he was actually...
She's the definition of guilt tripping and
Yes.
victim blaming. She's the living embodiment of it, in my opinion.
Because I can't remember, it was in the news one time, she had bruises on her as well.
She did that to herself.
Yeah.
She did it to herself, and then she'd taken photos of it, posted it on social media, and gloated about how she was being abused. But then Johnny Depp, Amber Heard wouldn't let him go to A&E, the emergency room, when she had cut the top of his finger off, and he had to bandage it up himself at home. And no one really cared because it was a woman abusing a man, and women can't abuse. I get it. You're trying to be feminist. But women can abuse. If anything, they're worse when it comes to abuse.
Because it's less...
No
one wants to think that, the petite little cute thing over there is beating up this huge rugby player. He could squash her like
Johnny
a fly.
Depp's he's not really intimidating, but he's got this aura about him that he's got a lot of wisdom. He knows what he's doing. And then you've got teensy little blonde Amber Heard. She wouldn't hurt a fly.
No.
Then you've got like the guy who played the drunken pirate, all of this.
Like you say about like how like small people and sort of you're saying petite and everything. I remember this one person, he used to be a police officer, 6'10".
Yeah.
Massive.
And he used to get
built
beaten
like
by
hell.
his wife, who was like 5 foot.
She was 4'11".
And she used to beat the hell out of him.
She actually stabbed him.
Yeah, I saw an article about that, quite recently.
And the police officer had a great mates with one of my TAs, and he said he would refuse to do anything because of his size. He could do so much.
Yeah, he could have killed her.
Fear of harming them than wanting to, as much as you want to stop the abuse, it's the fear of causing harm to them.
Because then that will come back.
Defended himself.
He's tried,
but then that will cut. The society will be like, but you're 6'10".
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Thing is, with Johnny Depp, they'll go, but you're a man.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean she's not literally beating the hell out of him behind closed doors.
There's such a stigma.
Apparently there's been a lot of financial problems with, apparently she's nicked quite a lot of his revenue from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't. I've never liked her from the beginning. My mum dragged me to go see Aquaman because she loves Jason Momoa. And she robbed me she robbed me the wrong way in the movie, playing a character. Like, I just didn't like her. But
so, speaking about like physical and sexual abuse,
yes.
How do you think that people could identify so it's very obvious because it is physical abuse, but how do you think that they could get help? How do you think that they could stop it? Because obviously it's very hard to get out of such a relationship because they may feel like they're committed to the partner. They may feel like they owe the partner something. So
it's the hardest thing is to leave. And the abuser is most dangerous when you are trying to leave.
Oh yeah, because it's the manipulation. They get even worse when you threaten to leave. That's when they're gonna either whip on the guilt tripping,
tripping and the victim
or they're
blaming.
gonna become 10 times worse. Which is both are horrible, but it's
when they fear losing control.
Yeah.
That they'll become the most unpredictable person you've ever met.
Yeah, because I think if Johnny Depp was to tell Amber Heard, I'm leaving you, she would guilt trip him to the point where he'd feel guilty. He would feel it was his fault.
I mean, with leaving, it's a long process and a hard one,
especially through marriage.
Because, we can touch that. But there's helplines to talk about how to do it, and then there's shelters, and I mean the police sometimes escort men and women to leave an abusive household.
I do know,
to ensure their safety, purely because of that. I'm leaving, add a catalyst to the anger.
Yeah, I do know. My mum works for the call centre in Kempston for the police, and she had to do an entire course on the signs over the phone of someone being physically abused. And usually, you've seen it a lot in TV shows, they try to order a pizza.
Yeah.
Because they'll call, the husband or the partner will tell them to order a pizza and they'll call 999. And a lot of people I've seen in TV shows get confused. But I literally had to warn my mum. It's unless they're genuinely trying to order a pizza, she had to do a whole training module on it because half the time you can tell in their voice. My mum had one. She could tell just by the first word. The shakiness, the panic, because you don't want to get found out that you're not actually calling some pizza place. It's really terrifying that you even feel that terrified to tell someone over the phone, let alone trying to leave the house. Because I know a lot of the time, people who are under sexual and physical abuse are usually banned from leaving the house in fear of people seeing any marks that have been left behind, which is gut-wrenching. It's horrible to think about.
I mean, for signs, there's so many, but it's not wanting to be touched, being withdrawn, the apologising, just overly
not wanting to go out.
Yeah, not wanting to go out.
Not even wanting to leave.
No, not wanting to leave your room, maybe not wanting to be out with more than a certain amount of friends. If it's a man, not wanting to be around men in general, or if it's a woman, not wanting to be around a certain gender or a certain type of person in fear of of something. They think something might happen. Because I know that a lot of the time abusers can ban who they're abusing from seeing certain people. They're I'm going out to see friends. Who?
Yeah.
They demand to know who, because it's up to them if they get to leave the house, which is disgusting.
How, in the process of leaving, how do you think they could stay safe? Because obviously there are loads and loads of worries that, it would impact them and that they would be maybe not as safe as they could be and that it would be more harmful to leave than to stay. That's an opinion of some people. So how do you think they could stay safe?
What you need.
I was going to say take the essentials. I'd say before anything, find a place
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Family member, friend.
Have a place to go beforehand.
Before anything happens, because you don't want to leave and then have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Because that can be more dangerous.
And you don't want it to be really, really obvious you're leaving. So it's take what you have to.
Take like a handbag or a little backpack.
Yeah.
Take only the essentials, like
So, like,
phone, wallet,
one change of
keys,
clothes, your
little change,
passport.
things that are essential but won't look obvious.
Because who's going to go looking in the cupboard for your passport?
Yeah.
Or
So
your purse?
before
it's
you
not
even-
abnormal to leave
before
with
you
a
even,
handbag.
So
or
before you
something.
even begin to plan somewhere to go, mum's house, grandparents' house,
A shelter.
I'd say the further away. So I'd say before anything, delete any social media, any apps that require location, because I know that people can be very intelligent when it comes to tracking down location, especially if someone's that desperate.
If they've got the
to keep
motivation
someone
to
with
do
them.
it.
Delete, like basically return your phone to factory settings, turn off all notification apps that will give away your location to anyone looking at you, snap maps, anything like that, gone. Because that's the first thing they're going to look for is where you are. I'd say only pay in cash, because you don't know how intelligent some abusers can be. Because they can track your credit card.
Yeah, if you've got like joint bank accounts.
Track your phone, they can track your bank account. Take all your money out of your bank, put it in cash. They can't be tracked. Take any locations off your phone, and then straight away, you find somewhere to go as far away as possible. Even if you have to bring someone with you, it's like say your mum lives like down the road, can you say, hey mum, can you come stay in this hotel for the next couple of weeks with me so I know I'm safe?
Yeah, what's it? It was a few years ago. My mate and his mum had to like we was literally like, right, you's coming with us and staying around our house, until you sort stuff out. Like you need to tell the police pretty much. We don't know what happened and how it's happened, but one day he's just completely snapped. And he got really abusive, so he's like, right, you're coming with us, stay over for Christmas, everything. And they felt a lot safer like there with us than they did even before any of this happened.
Yeah. I'd say even if you're going to stay in like a hotel or a hostel,
Let someone know.
Let as many people as you can know, and if anything, bring a close family member with you. Because then you've got someone with you, you've got an eyewitness if anything happens.
And hotels always have cameras.
Hotels always have cameras. If you've got someone with you and something happens, you've got like your mum, your sister, your aunt as an eyewitness as to what's just happened. So then that's a more guarantee that guy is hopefully going to get put in jail. Because if they end up tracking you down, regardless how much you do, you've got a barrier of a family member. Say, like, because a lot of the time, people won't tell their family what's going on.
Yeah.
You've got a barrier there. Wherever